I think we are live. Okay, let's
Happy to
start.
see.
Yeah, I think it's recording. Perfect. Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining our broadcast. And my name is Aliyah. I'm a senior consultant at EP Advisory. And today we have our guest Julia. She was our client, and we're going to talk about her relocation, her job offer, her life, and in general, how did she came to UK, and more interesting information. And before that, just to let you know, we are going to record this video so everyone will be able to see it a little bit later on our YouTube channel, on our social media. So please connect to our social media on Instagram. We also have a channel on YouTube. Please join, and you will always be able to see our videos with our clients and our stories. And yeah, thank you so much. And let's start. Julia, thank you so much for joining the call. And let's start and tell me a little bit more about yourself and how did you came to Aberdeen and what brought you there?
Thank you. Happy to see you, Aria. Well, just a couple of words about myself. So previously, I only worked in Russia, and we took a decision to move to the UK. But for us, it wasn't just like a geographical move. My husband is British, but he has always believed that moving to another country shouldn't be just simply following someone. Each member of the family needs to have their own reason to move. So I guess at that point of our lives, we all had such reason. Our daughter got really inspired about studying internationally, and for me it was, before I would say, a dream job. But during my first call with the P advisory with Andre, he told me never call a job a dream, especially at an interview. So I will not say that it was a dream job. It was, let's say, my biggest career ambition, professional ambition, to work in the North Sea environment, to be close to the heart of our industry. So that was my reason. And my husband, he has moved around the world a lot before, but had always had personal connection to Scotland. So at that time, I guess Scotland became Aberdeen, the very right destination for us.
That's nice. That's great. That's a very interesting story. I'm super excited about this podcast. Actually, everyone.
Me too.
Okay, nice. And can you tell me a little bit more about your how did you actually found us? Like how did the story started?
Well, it was just something usual. I think I was searching, just scrolling Instagram, and I saw my friend. He's actually a founder of a very big fintech startup, and there was some event that he posted about, and he tagged people, and there was, I think, Елизавета, the founder of IP Advisory, and I just followed. Just looked at her page. I thought, wow, that might be interesting because we already knew that we are relocating, and I was doing
Hmm.
my homework. I was
Yeah.
preparing. Of course, I thought I have time, and I will figure out everything myself. And I looked at the Instagram account of AP Advisory, and I thought, well, each post has got so much of valuable information. Of course, at that time, I didn't trust every single word 100% because I always try to think critically and make my own conclusions. So something that maybe I thought that, well, I'm not sure about that. I'll do it my own way. But yeah, that's how actually I got to know a P advisor. It was before moving to the UK.
Hmm. Oh, nice. Very nice. And then when you came to UK, you start looking for a job, you did your homework, you decided, okay, I'll go and start looking for a job. And how was it?
Well, my job search started earlier. Yeah, when we were preparing, it took a lot of time to work out everything about the documents, visas, and stuff like that. So I did seek advice locally with the HRs whom I knew in St. Petersburg, but they were very honest. They said so the UK market operates differently, and they couldn't offer any guidance or advice whatsoever, and even with the CV. So I thought, come on, what's the issue? I just translated my CV into English, and I decided even to invest into a nice, beautiful designer's template. I had a professional photo shoot for a photo, of course. We think that photo is required. And so I already had my LinkedIn account. I wasn't super active. I just thought that I'll use it, as headhunter in Russia. I'll just apply, and I started
Mm-hmm.
sending out multiple applications. I felt quite confident as I already had significant professional experience and actually managed some HR related projects, helped people, my friends, my family with the CV, with the job search. So I naturally thought that there will be no issue, and finding a role here will be relatively straightforward. But it wasn't that. After, maybe I sent 10 applications, and I was met with a wave of automated rejections. They were clearly AI generated. We understood it because UK HRs do not work on a Sunday morning. And when you receive a reply, thank you for your application. At that point, I understood something is not working. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's understandable. And but what have you been expecting in general from the market? Like, you thought like that will be much easier? And actually, tell us a little bit more about your background. It's also very interesting.
Um, well, my professional background is deeply rooted in the oil and gas industry.
Mm-hmm.
But I began in a Turkish company, Enka. It's a construction
Mm-hmm.
company where I was already exposed to international projects environment. After that, I moved to Gazprom. It was a joint venture with Wintershall, German national oil company, where I spent several years primarily in administrative project support roles. After that, I moved to Yamal LNG. I joined as a reporting engineer, and at that time, it was the biggest and I think technically most complex projects in Europe because it was a
Mm-hmm.
construction of LNG plant in the Arctic zone in Yamal, and a lot of international stakeholders were involved. At my most recent assignment was actually with a Russian company, not a big one, Polyinform, but they feature a really unique technology, and I was involved in business development activities, introducing their technology to the Middle East market, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, after we relocated, I still supported them remotely and in parallel confidently searching for a role here. Yeah, yeah, but
Yes, of course. Like a person with that kind of background
it's
always will think like, I'm fine, like I can find a job, like I know what I'm doing. I just need
no
to update
issue.
my
Yeah.
CV. Yes. But then actually the reality hits you strong. And
Exactly,
then
exactly.
and then you decided to come to the EP, but it was not just, like to come to us. It was connected with our advent calendar, correct?
Yeah, actually, initially, before the advent calendar, I already, when I just started applying, I understood I need help. So I had an initial call and with Natalia. And
Mm-hmm.
after listening to me, I kind of said, "Oh well, there was a lot of valuable information. It's a 15-minute like free call, but it lasted longer, which I really appreciated because I could feel that she's like personally." Wants to help, and she listened to me
Yeah.
like, I don't really like LinkedIn, I don't like to speak about my achievements. She's like, well, you look like a strong candidate, Yulia, but I think you require a full package of help
Yeah.
because some of the candidates, yeah, they might be more aware, right, or they already maybe worked at the international market at some time. But I thought, no way, full package. I can do it. So I joined the career hub, and
Hmm.
I found a lot. Actually, it's like a full guidance, but
Yes,
still,
that it
but
is.
still, there was no, even after I implemented the advice that was there,
Hmm.
still there was no result. And then the advent calendar comes, and I'm like, oh wow, that's cool. Actually, I didn't know in the beginning that there will be such a big prize.
Hmm.
It was just little by little there was this really tricks and insightful advice from EP advisory that I actually took on board. And then
Hmm.
right before Christmas, there was announcement that if you record a short video and tell us why it mattered to you, so what's your goal, what's your ambition, and I just did it. I without preparation. I just went outside, and it was a windy morning, but I
You still
recorded
remember
Christmas.
that. That's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
nice. That's
exactly.
actually, it's very helpful. Like sometimes you think, oh no, I'm not ready. I don't want to do it right now, or it's just like, no, I just don't want to participate. But sometimes you just go and do it, and it brings you outcome. Actually, a little bit about our advent calendar. So what was about, like, each year we try to do our advent calendar for Christmas. So we do few presents for each days before the Christmas day, and we give it away. But our biggest one last year was our package for job search, and it cost like 1,995 pounds. And we decided, okay, this is a great price. I think we know our expertise, we know what we are doing, and we wanted to give it to our clients and show them actually that. And it's a great price, like, to the person who, like, been considering thinking about it. And then, like, now we're talking with Yulia, and she can tell you, like, step by step how it felt for her. And then you just needed to record a video, tell what your story. And when we've been checking story of Yulia, it was very inspiring. We really checked her case and wanted to help her, and we know that we could help her, and we decided that we should do it. And here we go. We announced her name, that she won. What kind of feeling you had? Like, how did it come? Like, how did you hear about that?
Yeah, it was really like a magic fairy tale New Year. We had a little uh, treat going to London with my daughter for the New Year. And after we went to a beautiful show, Lion King, we came back to our room, and I just opened Instagram like usually, in the evening to check what's going on, and I see that EP Advisory marked you in their story, and I'm like, oh, and I just didn't think of anything. I just opened, and I see Yulia, that Yelizaveta with a big smile on her face, and Andrea. So they're announcing that actually I won the main prize. And it was just incredible, really. I messaged my family immediately. I'm like, and I thought, oh, well, that's it. Now it's all under control. It will be easy because I have a full package. It's £2,000. So, you know, basically everything will be done for me. Yeah,
Yes.
you hope so. But, such things as career, biggest ambitions and all, they, only you can do it, but of course with the support of a professional team. But of course, I at that point I got really relaxed. I'm like, well, I've been struggling so long for almost 3 months. Almost 3 months. i've been
Almost three
i've
months.
been I've been working hard. So now it will be really quick. Yeah,
Okay, that's
another
that's very
another
nice. We're
another illusion.
another illusion. That's true, actually. And okay, let's talk about how we start working together. Like, can you tell us what, like, first thing surprised you when we started the process?
Everything, I it took me actually 2 months to process all the all the steps that I have to take, all the changes that I in the job search strategy that I have to implement. And what I have to do. So I had just initial onboarding call, the contract, everything, and then a call with Andre, and it was just straight away, super valuable, super supportive, and encouraging. Um, I understood that it's not a one-day job. I understood that a lot of things need to be done. But I also got the main thing that, because when you are doing something no result, you tend to give up. And even, I mean, being used to a job search in Russia that you can do like before. It used to be like
Mm-hmm.
this, that you could
Yes.
find a role like within a couple of weeks, basically, if you are really determined.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a call with Andrea, then a call with Daria, where she explained, like, outlined the process.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they all said that we treat you as a real client. Don't think that if you won and it's a price and we don't charge you any money, you are our real clients, and we are
Mm-hmm.
really dedicated, and we want to help you. I think that this is the biggest difference. It's not just some expert advice like consultation. It's a team of
Mm-hmm.
people who are committed. And I think if you don't have this commitment, I mean, you won't get the result, because you need to. Each client is unique, and actually, my case wasn't super standard for IP advisory because of the industry and because of the niche. I
Mm-hmm.
basically I only could choose between a limited number of companies in Aberdeen. It wasn't like a,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know,
true.
yeah. And also, I wanted specifically to work in the office, not a remote role. To get out,
Mm-hmm.
where it's raining heavily today, but we are out in the countryside, so I needed to
Oh,
get out,
I mean,
to
still
get,
nice.
yeah, yeah,
For those who like
a lot
rain,
of
especially.
a lot of sheep and deer around, but I'm more like a city girl, and I needed to get out. So the basically it was a very limited task for EP advisory. As normally, I think when people relocate, they can choose, okay, maybe this country, and you have big, I mean, great deal of a choice. So with me, it
Mm-hmm.
was different, and I received initial consultations and homework to do, completely different from what I expected. I have to say, I've read almost everything um, in the Career Hub, but I just could,
Mm-hmm.
when you just read it, you think, as you are normally, if you find something in the internet, you don't believe it straight away, right? So you read
Yes.
something and you're like, that can't be true.
Mm-hmm.
Like about a photo, what do you mean? Like in Russia, photo is obligatory. If you send your CV without a photo, it will not be even considered. And
Yes.
here it's borderline prohibited. Basically, it's a inclusive world, and it's just everything was different, and I was processing and coming round to it during 2 months. And I think also like working on LinkedIn, doing some work.
Mm-hmm.
But my consultant Andrei, he came back to me. How is it going, Yulia? What are your results after that week? What have you done? Tell me. So this, you know, when no one is, and I kind of felt. Um, I have to do it, if I have this team of
Yeah,
people,
people are
they're
checking on
helping me.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are helping me, and I can just relax and say, well, I don't know what to do. We told you what to do. You
Yes,
just, and I thought they're
exactly.
professionals. They're professionals. They know what they're talking about. They've, had a lot of clients, and they know what's going on. So step by step, I started. Even it was difficult, because change is the most difficult thing that people go through.
Yes, yes.
Especially not like physical circumstances, but
Mm-hmm.
mentally.
Mentally, yeah, mentally
Yeah.
it's harder, especially it's different language, different country. You need to adjust, you need to understand, like even as you said with the photo, like how the CV have to look like. It's all different, and it's just like this small things sometimes people do not consider, or they think it's totally fine, but it's actually the small details. When you change them, it's most important part of, like changing things. And I totally understand. And the like the follow to follow the guidance as well, it's very important as well, because people think like, okay, I'll just do what they tell me, like for example from the hub. Yes, from the hub is very, it's actually very helpful tool or which we have. And people, for example, like who has a more, I would say, maybe experience already working somewhere abroad, like facing some difficulties, but they just need a little bit of guidance, like just to like for small details, as we said, that's very helpful. But when people are doing it for the first time, they doesn't know like a small things they need to adjust in themselves, even like behavior, like the way, like a lot of people say like we like USSR countries, people are not smiling enough. That's actually true. I had the same situation like when I moved to United States, and I was quite serious, let's say that. And I was like, I studied finance, and in finance work, you're supposed to kind of be like more and more serious. But like people was always asking me, why are you so serious? You need to
Yeah,
smile.
yeah.
And I was like, why everyone's keep saying that I'm serious? It's my normal face.
Yeah, yeah. And actually, there came another illusion. I thought that now I am fully ready, and as soon as I get to the interview, when I receive a reply, then it will be easier. Then I just need to get to an interview, and oh, that will be a deliverable. That will be a result. And I think that even if I had a package, like a real package which I paid for, maybe it would be even different. I think that the price package was more effective because people got commitment to me, and I was so grateful. So maybe that's why I got so involved, and I plus I was really inspired, and I wanted to find a role here. So I thought I should do something, because if you always do like you always did, you will get what you always got. So if you
Yes.
don't change what you do, you will not a different outcome will not be achieved. So
Hmm.
I started. It was, I think, so I started actively to be more active on LinkedIn, and so I already had a completely different CV. And I would never do it like even with all the advice which I researched in Google and in Career Hub everywhere. I would never had such a CV that it was all about me. It was all what I've done, but I would never think of presenting in that way. But the market
Hmm.
here requires
Hmm.
not just to describe, I did this, I managed projects. It's
Yeah.
what you actually delivered. So, and we are, yeah, with the USSR heritage, we tend to, not to speak about the achievements too much. Yeah, that's it. And when I kind of implemented all the advice, I had my CV, I started to be active. Basically, I even can say in dates, it was 25th of March that I started to be active and send some application, reach out to people. And then on 20, 27th, I was already in a big HR event in Aberdeen, a
Hmm.
career event where there were all
Hmm.
big HRs with companies like CY7, Subsea 7. It's like they are the leaders, the top. And I already was talking directly to an HR, and she was like thinking of a role that could be potentially possible. And actually, later on, I did come to an interview to their office, and it was like a very thrilling experience. Then we went for a short holiday to St. Petersburg, and already from
Hmm.
St. Petersburg, I continued applying. And when I came back, it was 12th of April. We came back, and I remember I was just walking my dogs, and I opened an email, and there is an invitation, first one, from a company which was manufacturing underwater batteries, like really interesting. It's a startup, and a invitation directly to an interview. So I got really inspired, and I thought, okay, now I'll do it. I had a session with Andrei, and we did a mock interview.
Hmm.
He asked me different questions, and interestingly, each question that he asked me, I was asked at an interview, and it's a completely different experience. You know, you come here and it's like, just be relaxed. You know, it's just a conversation, nothing to worry about. And then,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they open their laptop computers and competency based questions. You know, number one, tell me the time when, tell me the time. The specific example. I'm like, okay. So yeah, the interview experience was also something else, another illusion. And then
Yeah, interview preparations takes very like let's say deep dive preparation for. But how did you felt emotionally? Like how you felt like support, not just technically from the consultant, but emotionally as well.
it's incredible, you know, a lot of emotional support. And with Andrea, I remember he told me, well, I think that you are super ready. You even, he gave a lot of support. And just a little thing in the morning, it wasn't like the mock interview wasn't the day before interview.
Mm-hmm.
When I went, he just sent me a note, good luck today at the interview. And, you know, you feel that there is a team behind you and they are supporting. And yeah, the interview went very well. I mean, I was prepared. And yeah, the best improvisation is the one that you've practiced 3 times at least. So I knew, I mean, what to expect. It's not that you just, you know, come up with something. You already before know what you can speak about.
Mm-hmm.
You just have seconds to remember some cases from your career, to remember some situations, and to be able to actually present it in a decent way, not just like,
Yeah,
you know, it's nowadays, along with your competency, along with your experience, it's a lot about soft skills, about communication,
that's
about
correct.
how you present yourself. And it's just you know, the top professionals, they can struggle if they are not prepared, if they have no idea what to expect. And with the team, with the peer advisory, I was prepared because they work with their clients every day. They know which questions are asked currently by the employers.
Yes.
And so they know all these insights, they know how to prepare you. So I felt quite confident. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. I'm super happy for you. And how did you uh, feel about the interviews from before you being having interviews and then after with the help? Like, was it a big like change, like emotionally for you?
So in the UK, I only managed to get to the interview only with the peer advisory. So I already felt quite confident. Before in Russia, I have to say I had no issues at the interviews because I've been in the industry for already, you know, over 15 years. And when I come to a new place, there will be, you know, maybe some colleagues whom I already know, and we speak the same language. We maybe
Mm-hmm.
have been in the past in some projects. There was a case actually like this when I came to the interview, and I already actually knew some of the colleagues, future colleagues. So no, I mean, of course, I don't know how I would have felt if I went without the support, professional support and guidance, as it's a completely different market environment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've had some already background to be feeling quite confident, but of course, you know, it's like Daria says, it's a huge puzzle. Like, you know,
Yes, it
recently
is a
we
huge
did
puzzle.
like 750 elements, and each needs to go together
Connect.
to, yeah, to connect to be successful. Yeah, yeah.
That's great. That's great. And can you tell me a little bit of like let's talk about a little bit of the timeline. Like what was the timeline for you before you start from the moment when you start applying and when you start having interviews and how many interviews you actually had?
Mm. So, like I mentioned, I remember the date, 25th of March. I started to be more active in LinkedIn. I mean, before, so I started working in January, right? But it
Mm-hmm.
took me it took me 2.5 months to gradually, change the strategy in LinkedIn, grow my network. I was just little by little, I was working out how exactly I'm doing it, and a bit feeling reluctant in the beginning, but then had some magic kicks which I needed, and so became really active. And I think my LinkedIn looked much more professional at that time, and
Mm-hmm.
I had already a great CV. First invitation came after 2.5 weeks of applying every day. So every day, at least one application I made.
Mm-hmm.
And then another interview end of April. Then I had an interview, a couple in May, in June. So every month, because it was like, it's a full-time job to find a job, right? Like Andrea
Yes.
told me during the first consultation. He said, you need to understand it's a full-time job, and you have to work every day. So
Mm-hmm.
I did work every day, and I received those invitation. I think it was around 8 or 10 interviews. Like, I mean, not in total, because each company has several stages, and
Stages,
I've
yes.
yeah, I've gone through in some company there were 4 stages, and I came to the very, the final one, and I already was almost sure. I said to Daria, okay, Daria, we are close. And she's like, Yulia, remember, do not stop, do not get relaxed, because sometimes we think, well, that's it. You already are thinking
Mm-hmm.
what I'm going to wear for your first working day. You're thinking how much time it takes you to drive to the office. You imagine yourself in the office and on those exciting business trips that you were talking about during the interview. But uh, I had a call, and they said that there were two final candidates, and
Mm-hmm.
they selected the other one with the local experience. And I was like, on that day, I remember I had zero power to apply a- again.
Yeah.
I came home, and I remember I just can't do it. But because Daria told me, just don't stop, you carry on. And I go to my computer, I opened it, and I'm like, I hate this cover letter. I will just say, okay, hi, I'm a perfect candidate. And basically, I had this experience in environmental services, and I attached a CV. I didn't even, tailor it for the role. I just attached some CV.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first one, actually, that because you are still tailoring a bit for the role. And I just sent. And next day I receive invitation. And on
Another
that day I
interview.
sent another one. Yeah. And actually, with these two roles, which I had zero power to apply,
Mm-hmm.
it brought the result. And because in my head there were the words, carry on.
Carry
Yeah.
on, yes. Yeah, it is can be draining. Yeah, because like you send so many applications, you go to the interview, you're trying your best, you prepare for that, and then you got a rejection or they go for another candidate and you kind of feel like, oh, like I spent so much energy and time. I just don't want to do it. Like it's kind of a burnout itself, and you feel like I just want to stop. I just want to go and eat, I don't know, an ice cream and watch TV and don't think about that. But yeah, that's true. You need to find the power in yourself and like go and continue to send your application. Networking is very important as well, like LinkedIn networking, and just in general try to see like what's actually it. And this kind of communications and networking, it also helps you to understand, do you really want to work for this company, like when you talk with the on the interview or with the like people
Absolutely.
who you connected. Yeah, because sometimes people comes and they like, oh, I want to work for, let's say, I don't know, big company like Google, and like they say like, actually I want to work in the Google in this department, but then they talk with this people from the department and they think like, well, actually they don't do what I would actually ideally want to do in my next step in my career, and they just switch the company or switch direction. So this is very important. And people who say like, oh, I'm very shy, I don't want to communicate, I don't do it, and like especially people from the countries like we are coming from, it's not that practical, I would say. Like who I'm going to talk with, like nobody will want to connect with me, no one wants to talk with me. That's not true. People, LinkedIn designed for this. Like LinkedIn's
Yeah.
basically like a dating app for work.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been such a experience when you talk to people. Like I've actually, you can connect and you can actually find people whom you might know. Like I've connected with a guy, he works for Halliburton, and I said, "Okay, Andre, hello, how are you doing? And how is the industry? How is the situation?" And he's like, "Well, my wife has been searching for a job for 2 years already, and she can't find." And I'm thinking, okay, her husband works in Halliburton, and it's the biggest service provider in the oil and gas industry. Well, that sounds encouraging, I thought. But you come across other examples. So I listened to what he said, and then I talked to some other people. And when you talk to the people from this company, you actually feel the culture, you feel
Hmm.
the support that they are ready to give. And yeah, it's just the network that's exactly designed for this, and it's a professional network. And with the rise of AI, I think that now I can see that actually people want you to reach out because you are real. It's not that you just made up your CV and
Hmm.
your experience, which you can write anything basically and send. And a lot of people just apply for any role that can be relevant, but not really their forte. So the people in, I think the recruiters and employers, they actually expect professionals to reach out to them and tell them about experience. I think that yeah, it's just very different from
Yeah.
what we were used to before.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's true. And can you tell us also, from getting this package and like going through all this way and finally getting an offer, what was the most memorable for you? Like, what was the most helpful and like, I don't know, the biggest misconception about job searching in UK?
Well, misconception was 100% of the things that I was thinking about. My each step that I took was exactly something that I should do opposite. So I can't really um, highlight one. It was just about everything. I think that biggest game changing moment was when I was ready to give up, and Daria messaged me that uh, she has seen a lot of such cases, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just important to carry on. And I did. I think that I mean, because after that, actually, I got the uh, final offer. Maybe it's the biggest highlight, yeah. And the moment when I found out about the fact that I won.
Yeah, that's the most surprising one, I think. Like you, even when you go through all these interviews, and you sometimes you go into stage like, okay, I'll just carry on. Keep submitting. I'll go for the all the interviews. But at some point, like when you get the offer, you're like, I got the offer. Yes, finally, I can stop. I don't need to think about it anymore. So that happens as
Yeah,
well. That's very
it takes time. I couldn't even send a message to the team straight away because I was still processing it. Yeah, I mean, it was very emotional. We all remember in the family that moment. And yeah, I messaged Daria, but then I was preparing to announce to the whole team that it finally happened. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm very happy for you. I'm very glad that you enjoyed our package and our help like with the team and like you saying like you've been working with Andre, Daria. So that's how we usually support our clients with the package. Within the package, we're always in contact and try to understand. And each case is actually very like even like you can know the industry, you can know the country, but like each person is individual, and you need to find the way how to work with them. You need to find the specific experiences they have or don't have, or maybe they don't want to do something anymore, or like it's very special, and like to find this way, it's always individual for everyone. So it's very hard always to say that like each client like have the same role. No, they don't. Like everyone's roles are different, and like, and it can be in the like when you even think you know the role of the like the way how to get the job, you at the end in the middle you can just switch, like something changed in you, something changed why you've been searching and going through all these interviews, and like, or just life happens and like you decided you don't want to move anymore to UK, you decided to move to Germany. So you just switch your concentration, and it's a big process, and it's a big dedication as well. Yeah, that's true. Full-time work, as you said, like it is a full-time work. Okay, and anything else you want to share with us? So maybe I forgot to ask you something.
Yeah.
uh, just the final words.
I think that so if there was like a couple advice that I had to give to people, professionals who are currently searching for a role or just thinking about relocation. First of all, just go for it. Really go for it. And if you think of someone, I don't know, of people who climbed Everest Mountain, and you imagine this thrill of achievement that they have after such a difficult journey at the back, you know, climbing this mountain. I think that relocation and searching for a role internationally, it can be compared with it, because how you feel about yourself after, yes, you take a challenging path, yes, it's not so easy, but the growth and confidence that you gain after is
Mm-hmm.
extremely transformative, and you become a different person. So my advice is go for it, guys. And of course, nowadays, in today's world, with the AI, which is just such a big, it's just a block for us. I don't know. It's so difficult. You have to go with a professional team supporting you, because even in Russia, it's just changing everywhere. It's not only in the UK, Europe, or the US. There exist professional teams who help you relocating, who help you finding a role internationally or in Russia, because there is a demand for it, because people struggle. It's just, you can, yes, there is plenty of advice online and in Google and Instagram, and they all tell you, but thinking critically, you often won't believe it, and you will judge often based on your experience. The team of people like AP Advisory, they work with clients every day, and employers change their strategy as the world is changing. In interview, it's competency-based questions, it's case studies, and it's just changing a lot. Before you thought cover letter is extremely important, now it's actually already, it's better not to send, because your HR opens up your cover letter and it's clearly chat GPT generated, and they think, come on, you couldn't
Another
even,
one.
yeah, you couldn't even bother to write a cover letter. And it's better not to, because you can't write 100 cover letters that you are, because if you apply for a couple of roles every day, then you just get tired of it. And now cover letters, they go, and it's more, there is this new online assessments, and they are different, but they're different, but each company, big ones like Amazon, Meta, they have their own set of the assessments, and AP Advisory is aware of it, and can help you with this too. So it's just my personal opinion, and experience, actually real experience, that I've tried to do it myself, and I had a year of preparation before. I thought I have plenty of time, and when I already was in the country and with all the experience, and husband who can help, but still only with the team, it brought the result. So go for it with a professional team of people who can help you and who can support you.
Great. Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. And actually, now we do have some questions from the audience, by the way. The only thing I just need to figure out how to see them on my side. Okay, I can see. Maybe let's do a little bit of Q&A. Okay, what I can see, how many consultants were involved in your case and what was it like working with them? Okay.
So there were several consultants. It was first onboarding, then initial call with Andre, which is a big privilege to have, and then there was a call with Daria, like overall strategy of the job search. And then I was assigned Andre as he personally has experience in the oil and gas industry, so it was really for me it was easy to work with him, and we understood each other as he worked in oil and gas before. And then again, Daria supported me, so I think that she's been the biggest part in my journey.
Mm-hmm.
And working with them was just cool. They are not just professionals in the sphere that they do, but good-natured humans who are very, very nice to work with.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, and now next question. Is Russian experience taken into account? Well, in your case,
Absolutely.
like on
Absolutely. In
probably
my
on
case,
interviews.
yeah, Russia is the oil and gas giant, and everywhere in the world, even though now there is some, a myth that it's like it will not be taken account, but it is, and I have lots of colleagues who have been there and who have been involved in the projects in Russia back in the past. So yeah, it is taken into account. Of course, candidates with the local experience will prevail,
Mhm.
but it's only one part of the puzzle.
Yes, exactly. It's only one part of it. Okay, we have another question. How long it took from the first interview till getting an offer? Is it including sponsorship as well?
No, I didn't need sponsorship. I have a type of visa which allows full work permit, and it took. I mean, if from the moment of relocation, it took 1 year. From the moment when I really, really start to take it serious, it's basically from, let's say, from February to September.
February,
Yeah.
September. But
Yeah.
what about your application date? Like you send your application to your current job offer company?
Ah, yeah, it's really different. Sometimes it takes them so much time to review, and there are so many stages. But but sometimes it depends on the situation that the employer got. If they urgently need a person and they are ready. So for me, it was just a couple of weeks, but this is like really unique. Normally, some of the processes. So there was one case which was I applied in the beginning of August. Then I got a invitation to first call with HR 20th of August. Then there was another couple of weeks to get to the interview. Then another. So it went up to middle of September. That case, yeah. Sometimes it takes really long.
Yeah, it does take very long. Like I had the clients like they had like interviews like I think the whole interview process sometimes can take like 4 months if the
It
company is big. Me myself, like I had experience like applying for a cosmetic company, and like everything was fine. It's just like people sometimes busy, like the
yeah.
hiring managers busy, HR is just like super overwhelmed if the company is big, and like I've been calling them like, hey guys, like remember you told me we're going to have interview, when is it going to be?
And they're like, oh yes, oh my god, let me check everyone's schedule, and then I need to connect them, and then I'll come back to you. And then 1 week later, I'm like, okay, he didn't come back to me. What's up there? He's like, oh, one was sick. Okay, another one was something traveling. So it's very hard sometimes, and like you really need to have a patient. And to be honest, like, and especially for people who probably already in a senior positions, and you yourself had an understanding when you like work as an HR, or you are a director or hiring manager yourself, you can think and understand, okay, like to hire someone even for yourself takes so much time, because like you have your own main job you need to perform, and then you kind of need to find a candidate who you have to find a space in your calendar to go for this rounds of interviews, to talk with them, to make a decision, and it just can take forever. And when I was younger, I would say I I was frustrated by that. I was like, oh my God, they don't like me. Something is wrong. I did something wrong. Or no, they're just busy. They're just
Yeah,
busy. They
yeah.
don't have time for that.
And it's a big
Okay.
commitment here for an employer in the international market. Um, of course, we as employees are responsible, but employer has also a responsibility for you. So it's a big commitment for them. So they take their time to take this important decision, yeah, to select a
Yes,
candidate.
yes, yes. And especially for people who needs a visa sponsorship, it's even more important, because if the company is providing a visa sponsorship, they need to make sure that the person is 100% is fitting
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
team, not just the work. Is team is important as well. Like yes, technically and on your resume you can be ideal, like, but if you are not communicative, you don't have a good soft skills, it will be much much harder for you to get a visa sponsorship, because you are competing with not just people who already have visa, but for people who can talk better, who's more interesting. Like a lot of other dots, as you said, has to be connected, and
Yeah.
you really need to hit this button when you talk with the hiring manager and the company itself, like to get the offer. Okay, well, I think we will stop now. I think we already uh, talking about 50 minutes, I think. So that's, I think, was a very great conversation. Yulia, thank you so much for joining this podcast, sharing your story, sharing your experience. I really appreciate that. The whole team is super happy for you. And for all our followers and people who are watching this podcast, you always can post your comment about how you feel about this podcast, or what you would really want to hear in our future podcast. So we will think about that and like cover the questions and invite more people. We actually just got a client who actually got a job in Halliburton. That's so funny
Oh,
that we
wow.
spoke about that. So yeah, we have a lot of interesting cases and a lot to share. And thank you so much for listening to us. And if you have any questions, you always can DM us. You always can email us. We have so many. Go to our website. We actually updated our website just recently. Still updating. If there's some um, mistakes or something, we're just working on that. Bear with us. And so many more information are coming. We will share it with you. New changes actually as well. Like the new year is starting very active and productive.
Yeah.
I'll start talking in rhymes soon.
Mhm. Yeah, and if there are any also questions to me of the audience that they who watches our podcast later, also please welcome, and you can reach out to the team, and they will pass the question on to me, and I will be happy to answer. And I think that there is another question from the YouTube about how long did it take to get to the first interview. It was just, I mean, it was to get the first interview, it was very quick. As soon as I started to do it properly, interviews start to come. So basically, from I think 2.5 weeks. So if you do the right thing, interviews will come. But there is another part of the mountain to climb. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone. And see you on our next podcast.
Bye bye. Thanks everyone
Bye.
for watching. Bye.
and now I need to find out how to switch off the streaming.